Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. Pause.
This morning, the clock begins ticking down for TikTok after the Senate last night passed a bill giving the social media platform's Chinese parent company an ultimatum: sell the app or be banned in the U.S. Lawmakers in both parties say TikTok poses a serious national security risk. They claim the Chinese government could force TikTok's owner ByteDance to hand over Americans' data or use the app to spread misinformation by promoting certain content. The platform is used by 170 million Americans, some of whom make a living off the app.
At the end of the day, they've not seen what Congress has seen. They've not been in the classified briefings that Congress has held, which have delved into more deeply some of the threat posed by foreign control of TikTok.
But ByteDance is vowing to fight the ban in court, calling it a clear violation of the First Amendment.
Yo, what's goody? I am Wavy. A few months ago, I made a video on the House trying to pass a bill to ban TikTok. Now, that didn't pass at the time, but recently, they managed to get it passed. They squeezed it in with a bill where Joe Biden was giving away to the world. You know, he loves to give away to every country in the world but America. Now, it's funny that a lot of people thought that Trump would be the president to take away TikTok.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
But it turns out that it's Joe Biden. All right, let's get to it. Biden signs a bill that could ban TikTok after the 2024 election season. Ironically, he's waiting until after the election season because he understands that TikTok is his avenue to a younger audience. All right, so let's get to it. Legislation gives TikTok, China's parent company, 9 to 12 months to sell or be banned in the U.S., ensuring the app will remain active through the fall campaign. Tucked inside the sprawling $95 billion, yes, billion dollar national security package that President Joe Biden signed Wednesday is a provision that could ban TikTok. That means TikTok, which boasts 170 million American users, will remain a force throughout the campaign, providing a platform for candidates to reach predominantly younger voters. An earlier version of the bill could have banned TikTok prior to the election, but recent changes mean lawmakers and Biden may not face such an immediate voter backlash. All right, so pretty much ByteDance, who owns TikTok, has to sell or face nationwide prohibition in the U.S. The president can grant a one-time extension of 90 days, bringing the timeline to sell to 1 year. So around 1 year from now, TikTok should be either sold, shut down, or at least having a path to divestiture, and significant progress towards executing it. And companies that I think should look towards buying TikTok are more American companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. Like, I'm more for stuff like that. Whereas you're sending all of our information overseas. We don't know what type of laws rule over that information, and that authority. I'm not for that. Like, our Facebook and Instagrams are not allowed in China. So why should China's stuff be allowed here? You know what I'm saying? I just think that's free. Now, some people will argue and say, well, then Meta will have a whole monopoly over it with Instagram and Facebook. But I still think X is a pretty good contender out there. Maybe the only other one, but it's still better than a whole other government pushing out whatever algorithm that they want to the U.S. Like, we've seen a lot of stuff since the inception of TikTok around 4 years ago. Just look at everything as a whole across society. Everything, whatever you want to look at. In my opinion, humbly.
Hi everyone, it's Show here. As you may have heard, Congress passed a bill that the president signed into law that is designed to ban TikTok in the United States. That will take TikTok away from you and 170 million Americans who find community and connection on our platform. Make no mistake, this is a ban on TikTok and a ban on you and your voice. Politicians may say otherwise, but don't get confused. Many who sponsored the bill admit a TikTok ban is the ultimate goal. It's actually ironic because the freedom of expression on TikTok reflects the same American values that make the United States a beacon of freedom.
This is going to be the CEO of TikTok, Shou Chew. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. Couple things here. He's talking about the Constitution. Like, if the company was originated in China under Chinese laws, what access do they have to the Constitution over here? Like, the Constitution is a whole gray area. I at one point thought it was only for citizens and Americans. Now I'm seeing illegals are granted constitutional rights. I guess that if you come here from a company and you're on a company visa, I guess you're granted constitutional rights. I don't know what's granted constitutional rights at this point. Another thing that he brings up is the legal battles. I think TikTok has the money to go a few years because we all know the legal system is drawn out. All right, they have it set here from 9 to 12 months with extensions and continuances and this and that. You could be looking at 5, 10 years, 15 years down the line. And if they continue having money, who knows? This is going to be from the official TikTok policy page. Let's get to it. Our statement on enactment of the TikTok ban. This unconstitutional, yo, they love you. They love using American words, I guess, man. I don't want to use communism. I don't want to use that word. So I'm good, but let's let them use our words. This unconstitutional law is a TikTok ban, and we will challenge it in court. We believe the facts and the law are clearly on our side, and we will ultimately prevail. The fact is we have invested billions of dollars to keep U.S. data safe and our platform free from outside influence and manipulation. And I think that's what the U.S. is most afraid of. They're most afraid of the outside influence and manipulation on the American public. Because at the end of the day, the controllers got to control, and they can't have outside people influencing us here. And I think that's what it really came down to with putting it in this bill, maybe, and maybe even so getting it passed. Because once it got into this particular bill with all this $95 billion, it was going to get passed. Ain't no president more of a philanthropist than President Biden. This ban would devastate 7 million businesses and silence 170 million Americans. As we continue to challenge this unconstitutional ban, we will continue investing and innovating. Say that 5 times fast. To ensure TikTok remains a space where Americans of all walks of life can safely come to share their experiences, find joy, and be inspired. All right, damn, yo. Seems like TikTok is trying to tug at the heartstrings. All right, they're trying to play the emotional card. Oh, we're trying to give the voices to people that they're trying to silence. And I do kind of hear them out on a little bit because, like I said, I don't agree with the government telling us what we can and cannot have. But at the same time, TikTok has done a lot of detriment and destruction in the short time it's been around.
Joe Biden's TikTok ban hypocrisy. All right, let's go, guys. Now, at the same time that Joe Biden wants to ban TikTok, he allows Chinese spy balloons to fly all over the United States and photograph our U.S. military. And at the same time that Joe Biden wants to ban TikTok, he allows the Chinese military to build bases in Cuba, which are only 90 miles away from Florida. And at the same time that Joe Biden wants to ban TikTok, he allows Chinese migrants, many of which are military-aged, to cross our border in California. We don't even know who they are.
In case y'all didn't know, TikTok may be banned in the U.S. Here's what happened when India did it. All right. Why did India ban TikTok? In June 2020, TikTok users in India bid goodbye to the app owned by ByteDance, same company. New Delhi had suddenly banned the popular app alongside dozens of Chinese apps following a military clash along the Indian-China border. All right, you see these right here. There was a clamor leading up to this, and the popular narrative was, how can we allow Chinese companies to do business in India when we're in the middle of a military standoff? Now, I'm not saying we're in the middle of necessarily a military standoff, but there's a lot going on with a lot of people from a lot of different places at a certain place at a southern border. Like, real talk. My thing is, there's a lot of people from a lot of places coming here. All right, there's a lot of substances coming here. I would say from the place that made it, we all know where the Fetty Wap came from, and we all know where a certain disease came from that shut the world down a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And if India has already shut down TikTok, the U.S. is looking to shut down TikTok. What is to keep other countries from not shutting it down? Canada, England, Australia. Well, that's a continent, but you get it. was to keep other places in the West from shutting it down, Mexico. And what could all of that potentially mean for TikTok as far as their legal battles go? Because if they're shut down in certain countries, they won't be bringing in the same amount of revenue. Then will they have the same amount of money to go the distance in the legal battles? You know, all of that. If you're still here, just know I really rock with you. All right, drop a subscribe, hit the like button, drop a comment, join in on the conversation. All of this being said, what kind of precedence does this set for America moving forward, where the government has enough authority to just shut down apps? And what app could possibly be next? You know, today it's TikTok, tomorrow it's Instagram, the day after that it's X. You know, who knows? I'm just asking, you know, but I do agree to a certain degree that TikTok is not beneficial. Now, I understand the whole thing of it is America wants to take back the control. All right, I get that 100%. They're like, they cannot have China or wherever else influencing here, especially around an election time. All right, never mind last election, there was active interference. You know, the whole Steele dossier, the whole Biden laptop suppression, there was active interference. Do you think the government should have this type of power to shut down any type of app? I mean, they are going to be taking away a lot of people's voices, in the hundreds of millions of people's voices. I believe they said 170 million, and shutting down people's ways of making their livelihood. Because at the end of the day, if you can't make money on TikTok doing what you do, then you'll have to go build an audience on a whole other platform, and who knows how long that could take. Or you like those on the other side that say good riddance for getting rid of TikTok. It should have been banned. It should have been banned even from when Trump said it.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
Because it's pure destruction and chaos on there. The algorithms are ridiculous in what they're pushing and who they're pushing it to. When you look at the algorithms pushed in China, it looks nothing like what we see and the degeneracy that we see on social media, TikTok to be in particular. You know, but without me keeping it too long, I'm not feeling well. I'm sure that maybe it comes on. All right, f all that. Let me get to my final clip.
Joseph, I'm not going to tell you and Cash Doll how to do y'all job, but come November, y'all not going to have a job. If you don't bust a move, y'all need a big play. I don't know who's responsible for checking the scoreboard up there, but y'all are losing. Y'all are not in the league.
Y'all be easy and stay wavy.